Alright, this video is to help you understand how to make a raised bed garden and at the same time make it into a compost bin. This is one of the most easiest and effective ways to grow vegetables besides carrots, beets, radishes, any kind of root vegetable. Now I'll tell you why. But first, I made this raised bed out of wood that you would use to put up a wooden fence. Total cost for 14 boards is what I needed all together, was like about 20 bucks. And I built the bed 3 feet by 6 feet, and on top of that I have other wood left over that I will use for something else. But this particular raised bed right here, what's interesting about it is it's like about 17 inches in height. Okay, so it would take a lot of dirt to fill it up. But what's good about it is the concept of earthworms and raised bed all at the same time, therefore allowing you to be able to make a garden bed free of fertilizers, period. This is what you do. You build your raised bed regardless of the kind of wood that you use, regardless of the kind of materials that you use. But once you build your raised bed, the first thing you want to do is put it in position and line the bottom with landscape fabric. Fill it halfway up with compost and mix that compost in with about 50% leaves and let it stay there. Cover the top of it up with newspaper, about 5 layers of newspaper, okay? Then you come back with another layer of compost and leaves and mix all that stuff up real good together, okay? And then what you want to do is go to the worm store and buy you about 1,000 worms. You may get 1,000 for maybe like 10 bucks, 15 bucks. Cool. Throw them suckers off in there. Throw some more compost on top of them. Once you do that, worms themselves will make poop. And what they will do is eat the leaves. Don't give them nothing else but leaves. And you can give them like small pieces of fine chopped wood, but leaves will be so much better for them. They love leaves, especially red worm. They love leaves. So you can give them leaves. By the time they finish the leaves at top and eat through the bottom of that newspaper, they would have left behind so much rich compost. And at the same time, once you plant your tomato plants, pepper plants, or any kind of plants in here, by the time, within 2 months, by the time they release all that poop and urine, they would have left behind so much rich minerals for your bed as to where you shouldn't have to fertilize your plants at all, except for maybe spraying them with Epsom salt every now and then to keep them green and keep away from certain wilt and blight. Other than that, that's all that you actually have to do. That's one of the most easiest and effective ways to do a raised bed when it comes to growing vegetables. But don't use root vegetables, carrots, radishes, beets, etc., because they will eat those. But any other vegetables such as tomato, a pepper plant, anything that would root that is not a root vegetable will be good for it. And you would have a bin full of worms, eating leaves, leaving poop and urine behind, which is a good natural fertilizer already in your bed. And after so many months, after you root up the vegetables that you have in there, just take all of that compost, stir it up, take out as many worms as they done made, put them in another bin, do the same process and let them start all over again. And you'll have you a natural compost bin, and at the same time you'll have a natural fertilized bed all year round. If cold weather exists where you are, the worms may die off, maybe, but they will probably find center mass, huddle up together, probably stay warm. But next spring, garden season, when you begin to do your garden, you can just check it, sift everything around, sift it up, make it all soft and stuff, and you won't even have to add no fertilizers to it. So that's a good way to make a raised bed and a compost bin at the same time. Just fill that sucker with worms. There you go. Bye-bye.